everyone and welcome back to another video. I didn't realise in the 3 hours it took me to record this that my microphone wasn't working. I've managed to get it working now, but there's none of the original audio for this video, so it's literally just going to be me talking over the top of it. So I wanted to do some sketches based off of autumnal foods, and I made a list of classic autumnal foods, and I wanted to create some characters based off of that. So we're going to get started, and we're going to draw a character based off of s'mores. So I was just creating a thumbnail. I've sped up quite a lot of the drawing process, and I've sped up some of things like line art and, you know, just drawing out characters that I've already made, just to kind of shorten this video because it was over 3 hours long. But yeah, I've created a thumbnail for a character based on s'mores, and I decided that I wanted to have a deep brown jacket to represent the chocolate, and then her hair was based on a digestive biscuit, which I'm not completely sure what the equivalent is in other countries, but in the UK we would use a digestive biscuit. And then she also has a dress that's different shades of pink and white to kind of represent the marshmallow. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started and do some drawing based on that idea. And I'm just making a couple of ideas for this character. And during this video I was also kind of talking about things like a lot of these foods that I'm drawing on I've never actually tried. Like I tried a s'more when I was doing things like girl guiding, but I think there's figs is coming up later, but I've never had a fig, and I've never had things like a blackberry mocktail, but they were all just things that I associate with autumn. So it just felt right to include them. And yeah, I'm just getting started on my final design for s'mores. I created sort of like a leather jacket, so it's a dark brown leather jacket, and she has short light brown hair. So that's she's got a pretty simple design. I wanted to just kind of warm up first. I've got some more exciting designs coming up later, but that's pretty much her design. I'm just creating an action line for her because I thought that she might probably look a bit better if she was in a proper pose. So I decided to put her in just a regular standing pose with the hands on the hips, and she's looking kind of sassy, but like she still looks like a nice person. I think she's a nice person. I think she'd be nice to hang out with. I mean, it is a bold name. Calling yourself s'mores is a bit of a bold name, but I mean all of them have bold names on this sketchbook spread. But yeah, I'm just drawing in that jacket, and then I'll get started on drawing in the dress. I put some pleats in the bottom of the dress because it just looked a it just looks a bit better. And I opted for cowboy boots for s'mores, and I'm not quite sure what I was thinking, but putting the putting cowboy boots on her, I just thought it looks a bit extra, but it still looks really good, and I think it suits her. I wouldn't personally wear this outfit out, but I'm also not a character I just made up. So yeah, I'm just drawing in some cowboy boots, drawing in that leather jacket. I added in sort of like it's meant to be like a cute dress. So she's got things like white buttons and then like a white lacing. And yeah, just working on the line art. And I'm just kind of going over stuff I've already done. It's not that exciting. I opted for a bob, that like a sort of shoulder length bob that flicks out a bit at the bottom. So I can't quite tell if that would mean a sassy haircut or not. I'm not sure if it's a sassy or a good girl haircut. I think she's probably a bit of both. I did also put a pink headband in her hair just to dot that pink elsewhere on the design, and I also put that dark brown elsewhere on the design as well. I did think it would be nice to have a slightly longer video for this. I have 5 characters in this sketchbook spread, and I cropped it down quite a bit, but I thought keeping the video slightly longer might be nice. Like, some people like to sketch along and some people like to kind of put this in the background and do their own drawing, and kind of use these videos as like a drawing buddy. So I think that's kind of what I'm going for with this video. Now that I know that none of the audio has transferred, I've decided to kind of rebrand it as a sketch with me video, so you can just kind of put me in the background and do your own drawing, or you can watch me draw characters based off of autumnal foods I've never tried. So yeah, I'm just kind of, you can kind of see I'm just kind of talking about how happy I am with my own design. And I am quite happy with it. I think given her features, I wanted to put in how do I put this? Because she has lighter brown hair, I thought it would be nicer for her to have like a lighter skin tone. I used a whole range of skin tones in this sketchbook spread, but for this character particularly, I did decide that I wanted her to have a lighter brown skin tone. And I think I settled on just a really pale colour. I was thinking about doing like a light brown, like a tan colour, but it just didn't work. It just wasn't going to work, so in the end I believe I opted for a really pale pink skin tone. And yeah, next to all of the characters I am also going to be putting in the exact colours that I'm planning on using, and kind of like marking those out and everything. So yeah, you can just see I'm just starting to kind of put in those colours, put in those flat colours, and then I'll start to go in with some shading. One thing that I do wish I did better in this design is I do wish that I'd incorporated that lighter brown colour a bit better. I think when you look at a s'mores cookie, it's like, it's mainly that kind of lighter brown colour. It's not that dark chocolate. I mean, the chocolate is there, but the chocolate is on the inside, and I wish I'd kind of given her maybe dark brown hair and a light brown jacket, and I think that would have made her look a bit more realistic to a s'mores cookie. But yeah, that's kind of what I came up with on the spot. And I'm just decorating those cowboy boots. I've decorated the dress with different shades of pink. I used a light pink and a slightly darker pink just to give it some variety. And I used that brown colour and I gave her dark brown cowboy boots, which I wish I'd done differently now. Like, I'm looking back on it and I do wish I'd done it differently. I wish I'd given her dark brown hair and then like a light brown jacket and light brown boots. But I mean, I'm looking at it and the dark brown is really contrasting with the pink dress. And yeah, I'm also just kind of putting in some I was talking about things like asymmetry, so in a character design giving some like asymmetrical features. So I created a badge with a maple leaf on it, and having that on her lapel was going to make her design a bit more asymmetrical. And then I came up with the idea of, why don't all my characters have the same badge, and they can be called Team Autumn. And Team Autumn are all like these 5 characters that in a future video I'm going to put them into an illustration because I really like these characters, and I'm going to do these characters properly and, you know, do a proper illustration of them. This sketchbook spread is just brainstorming, it's just ideas. It's not meant to be like the Mona Lisa, or it's not meant to be really kind of elaborate drawings. I'm just brainstorming at the moment. But yeah, you can just see I'm touching up the design, and soon I'll put the tag in for it. But this is what I came up with for a character based off of a s'mores cookie or a s'mores biscuit or whatever it is. But yeah, moving on to the next one. The next one is pumpkin spice, and I kind of had an idea in mind for this one. I had an idea that I maybe wanted her to be quite, I guess like, she could probably look like maybe one of the popular girls. She could maybe look quite stylish, you know, look like she's probably quite popular, has a lot of friends, that sort of thing. And I opted to do this design based off of like a pumpkin spice latte. So the pumpkin spice latte, sometimes you put cream on the top. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a hairstyle for pumpkin spice, but then I realised that you can have whipped cream on the top of a pumpkin spice latte, and that whipped cream, I thought I could make that the hair for the character. So I gave her a white bun, and then I was going to do some sprinkles of brown in her hair to kind of match with like a cinnamon topping to a pumpkin spice latte. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just mixing different hairstyles together, just kind of working on a pose and coming up with a cohesive design. And I'm going to get started on drawing the design for pumpkin spice. I did a lot of planning for this character. I don't remember doing so much planning for this character because she comes out with quite a simple design at the end. So I don't remember the character needing this much design and this much thought. But I mean, I'm really thinking hard about this one. So I mean, it looks like I'm going to create a really interesting dynamic character, but I mean, she's quite a simple design. So yeah. But anyway, I'm going to get started drawing this out, and then I'll do some line art, and yeah. So this character, I ended up choosing a really bright, vibrant orange and sort of like a cinnamon colour. So the character, I thought if you're called Pumpkin Spice, this is a good time to bring out that really vibrant orange. And I did. And I created this jumper for her, but I think in the illustration I'm going to change it up a bit, and I'm going to untuck the jumper from the trousers, and I ended up putting stripes on it to give it some pattern, and then I'll kind of just do some plain white trousers. I think the jumper was kind of the focal point for this, because if you're like, for Pumpkin Spice, I wanted like the orange and the cinnamon brown to be the focal points, and that was why I chose to bring that white back into the design and do the design as kind of like incorporating a white colour, because I think it just offsets the really saturated colours that I was using. And of course putting that Team Autumn badge on her jumper. And then just going in with some shading. I decided that I wanted this character to have a slightly darker skin tone. I didn't want her to be as pale as S'mores was, but I thought it might look slightly odd if she had really dark skin with bright platinum white hair. I don't know, it just, I didn't think it was going to work for this character. So I decided that I wanted to kind of go for a slightly tanned skin tone, but something that just works with the fact that we've got a really bright white, and we've also got that orange striped jumper, and just trying to keep that the focal point of the design. So this character is based off of a toffee apple, and I decided I wanted to create I wanted to create a boy for this one, and I was quite keen on creating a more kind of darker, mysterious character than the other two um, that I'd been drawing. So I switched up the position, so he's going to be in a seated position. I grabbed some darker reds, some caramel colours, and I also realised that a lot of these toffee apples have things like green sprinkles on them. So there's a couple of places in the drawing that are going to have like pastel pink, not pastel pink, pastel green, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, like embellishments. So I ended up putting some pastel green on the trousers, and yeah, just kind of giving him a slightly mysterious look to him. So he's going to have a quite a tight shirt that has a high neck to it. So he's in like a turtleneck, and the turtleneck is going to be like a really dark red, so that it's again like a focal point. I was playing around with the hairstyles a bit here. I wasn't sure if I wanted him to have like a comb over, or I think I decided at the beginning that I wanted it to be like a one of those kind of perm hairstyles, and it just wasn't working, so I just opted to go for a sort of slightly messy comb over hairstyle. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And the shoes, I decided I wanted him to have like sort of like men's ankle boots. I'm not quite sure if you know what I mean, but you know how sometimes men have like suede ankle shoes that are like boots, but they're not boots and they don't have a heel to them? Hopefully you get what I mean, but that's what Toffee Apple has. And this was really fun because I got to play around with different poses, and I very rarely draw characters in seated positions. I really need to do that more because it adds so much variety to my work, and it really kind of pushes me a bit further, and doing challenges like this really pushed me to think about colour and think about design and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm just working on some line art now, and then we'll get some colour in. So I decided that I wanted Toffee Apple to have a deeper skin tone, and that he ended up having black hair, which I think it kind of works. Like having all of those dark colours up the top, I think maybe makes it a bit heavy. But I mean, the design isn't bad. I think I spent a long time afterwards kind of thinking about how I could improve it, because there's no skin showing, so I couldn't really put tattoos in. I think I tried putting an earring in, and that didn't look right. It just, yeah, I just wasn't completely sure. It just looked way too simple. So I'm probably going to have a think about this design again before I end up doing the illustration. I wanted to offset those darker colours with that like caramel colour, and I gave him some lighter trousers and also some like pastel green pockets. I was slightly worried as well that when I first drew this character, he looked like someone I went to school with, and I don't want anyone to think that I based my drawings on people I know, because I just don't. I was sitting here thinking about like how I could incorporate a toffee apple into a character. Like it's not that deep. So yeah, but he doesn't look like someone I know now. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to create a character that was sort of mysterious, but would also realistically be a part of the other group of characters. So I'll probably have a think on how I can improve this over the next couple of weeks, and then for my illustration I'll potentially be looking at switching up this design, maybe embellishing it a little bit. I don't want to have too many simple characters in a drawing. I want to have like a mix. If you're drawing a group of people, to have a mix of like characters that are really exciting, but also having characters that maybe have simpler designs, so that the illustration is easier on the eyes. But yeah, moving on to Blackberry Mocktail, and I opted to make Blackberry Mocktail a brother of Toffee Apple, so they're both like these kind of darker, mysterious people, just because, so for no other reason but because they had quite similar colour schemes. So a Blackberry Mocktail is going to include things like darker reds, darker purples. I think I included some blue in here as well. You know, there were some similarities to Toffee Apple, and that's pretty much the only reason that I decided to make them brothers. But I wanted to put him in a different position for this one. So he's standing, but he's supposed to be like leaning against a wall. And that was kind of my idea for him. When I was doing my research on a Blackberry Mocktail, I saw that a lot of the drinks are in like an ombre. So they're lighter at the top and then really dark on the bottom. And I wanted to incorporate that idea into the design. So Blackberry Mocktail has that same turtleneck feature that Toffee Apple does, but his turtleneck is like an ombre. It's going to be an ombre from like a dark like a dark pink red colour all the way up to white. And then he's also going to have vaguely similar trousers, but I decided I wanted to put a patch on instead of pockets. I think that kind of works, and I gave him a little moustache, and he also has a low ponytail, so you can tell that they're brothers, but you can also tell that they're their own characters. Like, I didn't just copy Toffee Apple and call him Blackberry Mocktail, because that wouldn't have worked. So yeah, they look related, but they also look like they're their own characters with their own designs and everything. So I'm just drawing out that final design for Blackberry Mocktail um, there, and it was a lot more difficult this time because I flipped the design. So that that patch, I swapped it to different legs so that on his final design he was going to have that patch at the front instead of on his back leg. I think that kind of looks a bit more interesting, and um, it also puts it on the left hand side, whereas his ponytail is on the right hand side. So sort of balanced out a bit, I guess. I think I think way too deeply about whether characters are dynamic or not, and um, I think I think quite deeply about whether the characters are looking interesting, and the yeah this design, I think it's quite interesting. I really liked the ombre effect, and I I put in like light blue trousers because I saw that sometimes they put blueberries in blackberry mocktails. So I thought, why don't I just put blue on the design, and it works with that ombre effect. And then to kind of represent the herbs that you put in the mocktail is his green patch. So that green patch is kind of representative of the sort of like the garnish. But yeah, I'm just getting started on the line art now and just kind of going over what I've already done. So the final character is based off of figs. So I've chosen a variety of purples, and I chose like a pastel green for like the inside of a fig, and then the like some kind of oranges and reds to represent the seeds inside the fig. But I wanted to really represent the purple here, so I'm going to just put loads of purple in the design, and I gave her like a purple coat to go over the top. So basically she's going to be like a fig in that she has a purple coat, and then underneath the purple coat are those it's like those like reds and oranges, and also those greens, and then she also has some cream as well. So she's sort of dressed in the way that a fig works, and I'm not sure if that makes sense, but it made sense in my head. And yeah, I'm just kind of working on this idea, and I think I was also thinking about the skirt having spots on it. So the skirt is like a lighter orange, but it has spots of a darker orange so that it represents the seeds of a fig. There was a whole process to this, and there was a whole set of ideas that I'm pretty sure only makes sense in my head, but it makes sense to me, and I really hope it makes sense to you as well. But I wanted to also give her like curly hair, and I think I gave her round glasses as well. So she's supposed to be like kind of sassy, nerdy character. And on the illustration, she's going to be kind of, I planned this for her to be like center on the illustration. So because of her pose, because she's looking forwards, she's going to be like a center person. And then, so it's probably going to be like her, and then in front of her is Toffee Apple, and then next to them is Blackberry Mocktail, and then on the left hand side is going to be Pumpkin Spice and S'mores. And I really hope that works. It works in my head, and I'm trying to kind of get the ideas from my head to paper, and I think it looks like it makes sense on paper, but it's quite difficult to translate it with words, what all of the ideas in my head are looking like. So basically this is Figs, and Figs is dressed in fig colours, but she also, like, her outfit works in the way that a fig does. And I mean, like, I understood the brief. There's like I think I just understood the brief. But yeah, I also gave her like cream coloured boots with some kind of embellishments of the other colours on them. So just kind of playing towards that autumn theme. And I'm not sure if the purple hair's working, to be honest, because the purple hair, it doesn't, like all of the others have kind of, I guess, like natural hair colours. Maybe Pumpkin Spice doesn't. Pumpkin Spice has white hair. But I'm worried about, is she going to stick out? Is she going to stand out? And maybe that's alright. Maybe she can stand out. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this illustration. We've got some patterns, we've got different colours. The colours represent the food she's based off of. She's got a pretty decent design. I think the ideas that I'm having, so a character for like a proper illustration, so if I was doing like, I don't know, if I was doing like a sci-fi character for a portfolio, like a proper digital illustration, that would probably be the time that I use all of these ideas for concept art techniques. But like a cartoony character in my sketchbook who's going on an illustration, probably not. It probably doesn't matter as much. Which, speaking of portfolios, I am actually in the process of revamping my portfolio at the moment. I want to do a couple of videos all about revamping my portfolio now that I've graduated, and I've been looking for work for a while and not having much luck with it, so I've decided to turn my focus back to creating a decent art portfolio. I think if I'm gonna do it, like, now's a good time to do it. So yeah, I want to make quite a few videos on that, and I've got a whole bunch of ideas for it, so that's kind of what I'm working on. And now's probably a good time to say that if you are interested in that, and if you like what I'm doing, definitely make sure to like and subscribe and do all of that stuff, because I want to know if what I'm doing is appealing to people. Like, I want to know if my videos and my art style and all of this stuff is appealing to people. And also subscribe if you're interested in any of the stuff that I've been talking about making, and talking about making videos for, because that would really help as well. But yeah, and of course all of my socials are linked in the description, and that's pretty much it. But I hope you did enjoy. I'm just going to finish off this character and, you know, put in some colours and line art and all of that stuff. But I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.